Hello everyone, this is White Wolf, and we're going to get on this live, and I wanted to talk about what I've been experiencing, but also what I've been connecting to, and also receiving from Spirit as I was doing just a couple of TikToks here. And I just really wanted to get this live out here and just talk about the beginning of the beginning. It's not the beginning of the end, it's the beginning of the new chapters and the new migration of the new energies, blending the third dimensional energies with the 12th dimensional energies. So a lot of us are really connecting to the Black Panther energy because it allows us to connect to ayahuasca without having it in our system, so that we don't have to take ayahuasca, but have that transcendental experience of ayahuasca tapping into the Black Panther energy. And I wanted to really talk about this live and understand that we're not a finished product, that we're always being migrated back into the divinity that we once were, and having self-remembrance and having that recalibration of our energy and redesigning our lives as a manifester, as a creator, as one that sets intentions, uses its words of wisdom, and uses a way of projecting prosperity into creation. So a lot of us are coming into prosperous energy, rather it's in health, rather it's in finances, rather it's in your relationships. There's an ongoing progression of what we're going through energetically. And as we're becoming a living, breathing vortex of creation, we allow ourselves to embody that Black Panther energy, which allows us to transcend the human conditioning, to transverse the space-time continuum, but also to generate different optical illusions that allows us to be more grounded and more in symmetry and more in sync with our vibration and our expression within our vibration, but also the way that we attract our vibration, meaning we're attracting different personality traits of ourselves. We're allowing ourselves to align to a truth that we're not familiar with. We're allowing ourselves to go into the unknown, even though that it feels kind of scary to go into the unknown. So there's this power, there's this stability that's in us, and there's this reconfiguration of the different configurations of energies that we're tapping into. So we are really allowing everybody in this planet to be healed. The planet is receiving a lot of different upgrades, a lot of downloads and frequencies and DNA codes and light codes that are being sent out to the entire universe. And whenever we do meditation, whenever we share our messages, that's what's happening at this point in time with our meditative path, with our meditative practice. And one thing that my guides were telling me was to not give up on yourselves. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on Source or your guides. Don't give up, because when we give up, that's when the great things in our life happen. Usually is when we're at the pinnacle of giving up on something. So when we do have a little bit of challenge, a little bit of chaos, a little bit of confusion, a little bit of the things that kind of keep us on our toes, it's not a challenger or even a catalyst, but it means that you're growing with a spiritual maturity, with a spiritual wisdom inside of yourself. And it's also meaning that you're going through this because you're embodying your vibration, your honor, your integrity, and what you're channeling and what you're bringing out into the earth. So a lot of us are astral projection into creation. So a lot of us don't even realize what we're doing at this point in time when we're doing a meditation or when we're helping our neighbor, or sometimes it's just going to your gift when you're called to do your gift. So it's a calling and it's an obedience, and it's something that turns into a ritual every day because we have dedication towards what we're supposed to do. Meaning that the meditative path allows us to recharge our batteries, meaning that we're reclaiming the power that we once were. We're having self-remembrance to the things that we used to be, and we're allowing ourselves to infuse the different dimensions of creation, the different dimensions of living, and the different dimensions of light, so that we're able to combine it with the third and the fourth dimension way of living. So understanding that we're blending those energies so that we can come back into balance with who we are. So meaning that the Black Panther energy is very powerful, just like the Kundalini energy. But doing those types of energy work allows us to really shed layers of skin, allows us to tap into the divine feminine, allows us to tap into different activations of our psychic abilities, and it allows us to see ourselves from the standpoint of our inner child, that imagination, that grace, that allows us to develop fire and water, the elementals. So it allows us to develop the elementals, and then we allow ourselves to channel the wisdom of the Ascended Masters, meaning our past lifetimes, meaning our guides and our higher self. So we allow ourselves to be a part of an energetic vortex, meaning that we are this energetic vortex, we always will be this energetic vortex, and we've always been infinity. We now are just coming into it more strongly and more vibrantly. Having the understanding of not closing yourself off and not being so introverted, but being extroverted, is allowing ourselves to open ourselves up so that we're more vulnerable, more receptive, more open to wisdom, and that we allow ourselves to really hear the divine. To hear the divine so clearly, so vividly, so honestly, and we allow ourselves to do this by intention, by simultaneity, by allowing ourselves to come back into balance with what we want to be. So we don't have to be a person anymore. We are a power that's infused inside of a person. So we are consciousness, we are an energy, we are love, we are peace, we are generosity, we are integrity and honor. So a lot of us have to see that it's not the beginning of the end, but it's the beginning of new chapters, new migrations, new energies, new relationships, but also a new embrace and an acceptance of your energy. When you have that acceptance of your energy, nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop the prosperity on your life or the grace or the anointing on your life. And you become something that my guides call a sacred flame, meaning you're carrying the torch for the new golden age of enlightenment. To see ourselves as gods, to see ourselves as source, to see ourselves in a much different light than we've never seen ourselves before. So allowing ourselves to emanate this light, to be encompassed in this light, to be a part of this light, is allowance to accept the light within ourselves. So a lot of you may have been going through the dark night of the soul. A lot of you may have gone through the dark night of the soul. You've gone through the transcendence. You've gone through the integration. You've gone through it all. You've seen all of your past lifetimes. You've seen all of the densities of consciousness. But now it may be time to really integrate them, to make them balanced, but to make them whole and to make them so real and vibrant that it allows you to see the beginning of who you are. It's the beginning of the new. It's out with the old and in with the new. And it's time to reap everything that we sow, every time that we are planting new seeds, every time that we share, every time that we show up to our life as if we're meant to be there, allows us to have that state of continuity, have that state of flow, have that ambition within ourselves that allows us to really change the direction, the narrative within our direction. And the story and the themes and everything that we're experiencing, it allows us to change the experience here and now. So therefore, when we change the narrative, when we change everything that we're experiencing, we're changing the very vibrancy that we are. We're having that state of being realized, actualized, and re-energized in a much different way. So we're trying to find out what really works for ourselves. We're trying to find out what works within our lives, within our direction, within our themes, within our experiences and our circumstances, and how we react to those circumstances. So we're not being reactatory, we're being proactive to everything that we are calling to. So we're aligning back into our heart's desire. We're allowing every desire to be pure, and we're allowing every experience to be a part of our divine expression. And then we align to the truth that sets us free. And then that freedom allows us to develop something I call willingness. A willingness to show up, a willingness to do it, a willingness to keep progressing. So when you allow yourself to progress, you're not regressing, and you're not digressing either. So when we're in a constant state of elevation and acceleration, we allow ourselves to accelerate and transcend the human conditioning, meaning we transcend everything that we're becoming in this moment. We align to the power that has designed us in the same image of the I Am Presence. So every time that we do this, we change how we go about life. We change how we feel about life. We change how we intend about life and how we affirm about life, so that we can confirm everything that we are not and confirm all of the things that we are, changing our causes and effects, allowing ourselves to subtract from that standpoint, and being able to add within our space. So when we do this, we change every fabric of the space-time continuum, every fabric of our reality, and we do not become the same person that we once were. So there is a constant shift in what you think that you are and what you assume that you are, but actually you're not a finished product, and you're never done becoming who you really are in this moment. So that's because meditation is infinity. Meditation is forever. And we allow ourselves to develop that state of consciousness, of that ongoing recalibration of our energy, recalling our power, proclaiming that power, aligning to the power, and never negating the power again. And seeing that when we do that, then there's this constant state of empowerment, motivation, past our personal biases. So we're not based in thinking, we're not based in just acting small, and we're not based in worrying about the troubles of the world or getting muddled into details anymore. The details are not making us feel bad, or even just feeling bad in general. But a lot of us, when we tap into the Black Panther energy, when we're tapping into more prosperity, when we're more thankful and appreciative, and we allow ourselves to use our energies for the things that are good instead of the things that are negative. So it's where you use your energy as an energetic being. When you allow yourself to use that energy for service, for love, for grace, for alignment, then we don't question source. We don't question ourselves. We don't question the very nature and why we are here. We see that every time that we give up on something, we're giving up on the source that created us, the source that made us appear, the source that generated the light of awareness that allows the world to keep going. So when you don't give up on that, and you always believe in that, and you always have that faith and that conviction and that structure in that prosperous energy, in that energy where you see that everything is being released so that the new can shine through you. Meaning that every time that we use the Black Panther's energy for the greater good, we allow ourselves to transcend the conditioning that we're experiencing. So every time that we do this, there's a developing of shedding the layers of skin, taking off the mask and actually being the person that we want to become in that moment. And it's also sacrificing everything so that you allow yourself to see that when you sacrifice all the things that hold you back, that limit you, that put you in a box or a category, that allows you not to use meditation as a way of puncturing through the artery of limitation and expectation and false appreciation, then you are being led by truth. And you always allow yourself to penetrate what seems to be in your way. And sometimes the very thing that could be in our way is ourselves. And sometimes the very thing that could be in our way could be something that we're not looking at, but sometimes it's right in front of us and we're just not looking. Sometimes we're not listening. But when we're able to be receptive and we're able to listen and we're able to be malleable and we're pushing past everything that limits us. So sacrifice is a constant state of unity, because every time that you sacrifice something, you include something else and you exclude something else. So it's always about the input and the output of what you want to reinforce. So it's the changing of the light and the dark aspects. It's the changing and the migration of seeing how you're going to act when you spend a lot of money. Not being so reactive, but being proactive towards everything so that there can be a constant flow and that nothing persuades you or nothing gets in the way of what you want to resonate with. Resonance is a constant state of beginning the new beginnings. It's not the beginning of the end. We always think that there's always an end because we watch like movies, we see things, we go to concerts and stuff like that, and there's always an end to the concert. But if you lived your life as if there was an encore and there was an ongoing progression, and that you saw yourself constantly progressing and accelerating and flowing with your energy and giving your life to source in every facet of the word and the definition, then you would just give your life to that all the time. And you would give your time to that, you would give your dedication to that. It would almost become something of a ritual. because it would become something that has repetition, but it's not living Groundhog Day. It's not experiencing the same thing over and over and over, but it's seeing that redemption is evident and change is inevitable. And if we don't accept that change within ourselves, then it crushes us a bit, because we have to shatter the hourglass and see that we're not based in time anymore. If we shatter that hourglass, then we're not based in time. We're not based in minutes. We're not based in seconds. And once we do that, we connect to that fountain of youth in that infinity that wants to know us again. So nothing really changes unless we want it to really change. And nothing really progresses unless we initiate that progression. So every time that we change or become more prosperous or elevate to a different state of energy, we have to be grounded in that energy, and we have to balance our energies to where there's a sense of unity, there's a sense of maturity within the purified state of ego, the filter, and then the mass within ourselves with more light within our space. And then we're able to be a vortex of creation, meaning that we can put everything inside of ourselves that is of goodness, that is of the riches of life, the fruits of the Spirit, the truth of the Spirit, and just taking that walk with the Spirit and always walking with it. Because when we choose to walk with the Spirit, we're taking a gamble, because we're going into the unknown. So every time that we walk with the Spirit, we are going into the unknown. So the truth always aligns back to itself. That's why whenever we change, whenever we choose to, that's why a lot of things start to become more heightened. Everything becomes more heightened. Everything is more aware of itself. And every time that you balance your energies, and every time that you step out in faith, and every time that you just go with it, nothing can stop you in this moment. So to feel like an immovable force is not to feel like a force that is of destruction, but it's a force of creation. It's a force of purification. It's a force that reinforces everything that you want to become. So we don't have to be forceful in our creation. We just have to be deliberate in our creation. And we have to have the emotions, the intentions, and a perception that punctuates and penetrates whatever does not need to be there. So every time that we disassociate with distortion or certain perceptions or certain energies, we allow ourselves to disassociate from the things that limit us. So every time that we disassociate with that, we don't align to that consciousness. We don't align to that direction. So I'm not doing readings right now. I'm doing a channel message, and I have healing energy for people on this live. So I'm not doing readings right now. And I felt led to do this message because I feel like a lot of people want to give up, or people feel lost, or people don't know what to do. A lot of people are going through so many different things emotionally that a lot of us don't see a way out, or we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, or we've adopted this ideology or this very fact that we have to be the person that we have to be at this moment in time. We don't have to be the person that we're supposed to be. We're not a finished product. So it's kind of like whenever we feel that insignificance or that unworthiness or that lack of drive or motivation, there's a reason for that, because we have to have purification. It means it changes us in every facet of the word. It changes everything that we do. It changes how we go about life. And you don't have to be the person that you want to become in this moment. Just be the person who you are right now. And I was feeling, and Spirit was talking to me before I did this message, was the very fact that a lot of us are lost, or are questioning, or have a lack of faith or a lack of drive. But that does not mean that it's going to be like that forever. That's just the grace period so that you can balance out your energies and have that inseparability within yourself. So that you can let go of what you need to let go of, or what you're attached to, or what is holding you back, or your emotions and feeling into the sensitivity of that, or going through the dark night of the soul, or finding a way to relay that, to be relatable, to be in the comfort and the safety of the divine, but also in the peace and the breath of fresh air. So when you allow yourself to be that breath of fresh air, you're allowing yourself to be the exhalation. So sometimes we just need the pause, and sometimes we just need to come back to who we once were. And sometimes it's just not giving up, even when you feel like giving up, even when the very thing in life is telling you to give up on yourself and on your giftings and on your life. The very thing you should say is, no, I'm not going to fucking give up. I'm not going to give up on Source. I'm not going to give up on God. I'm not going to give up on my meditative path, because it allows me to have grace every day and redemption so that I can find myself once again. So, none of us really knows the ultimate truth, but all of us can accept the ultimate gift. Is that when we allow ourselves to accept the ultimate gift of reception, being delivered, seeing what we've gone through, seeing who we've become, seeing how we've transcended the human condition, and nothing can change that. So when you allow yourself to just say, I give my life to God, just work with me, just teach me, just guide me, just love me. Help me figure out my consciousness, help me figure this out. Allow yourself to soak in that divine wisdom, in that transcendence. And when you allow yourself to soak every single day and write down the things that you really want, intend about the things you really want, meditate upon the things you really want, and declare it as if it's yours, summon it within your spirit, and allow yourself to take that walk with the Spirit and imbibe that Black Panther energy that really allows you to be fierce, to be a warrior, to be someone that is strong and that has resiliency, and that nobody can take that away from you. A power cannot be given to you, it can only be received. So power is something that we imbibe, it's something that we live by, it's something that we are, and it's something that we bring forth within this creation. And then we impart that power within ourselves. And then we reflect that power about who we are. And then everything that we do, and then everything changes around our reality of what we want to experience in that moment. So every time that we do this, every time that we align to the things that are more beneficial to our lives, instead of aligning to the things that are not so beneficial, then we allow ourselves to really change. And then we see our life changing, and then we see how our relationships change, and then we see how our businesses change, because we want to do things that are beneficial to the earth. Not only beneficial for your health, but beneficial for the things that you want to bring within this awareness. So lead with your heart, and it will never lead you astray. Spirit never leads you astray. Always lead with your heart. Because at the end of the day, when you're coming from a source of love, and you're coming from a source of generosity, and you have that undeniable appreciation, and not based on false expectations, not based on false intentions or pretenses and predetermination, that your destinies are not predetermined anymore. And that's what's beautiful. That's what the whole point of this live was, is to say that our lives are not predetermined. We are not predetermined to be this way always. But we get to determine our destiny, our future, our lives. And we allow ourselves to imbibe that wisdom and that unity and that connection And then we're able to give that back. And love, really love, unconditional love. A lot of us think love is how our parents treated us, or abuse that we've endured, or suffering. And it is, to a certain degree. But love unconditionally has no condition to love. That's actual love. So when we give that love back to the universe, back to others, and really step into who we really are, and we allow ourselves to tap into our heart's desire, but also be that desire, and then we allow ourselves to impart that energy of being motivated, of being inspired, of being in that constant state of unity with who we are. And nothing can change that. So, that's my live, but I wanted to do some healing energy for you guys and tap into the Black Panther energy. If you guys don't see this live, it's going to be on YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle. And also, I'm going to be going live later to do readings, healings, activations, but I'm going to do some healing energy for you guys. And you guys can book private sessions as well. If you want to receive psychic readings, I do have a 1 hour special for $100. So, we're going to do some healing energy, and we're going to tap into the Black Panther energy. It's very powerful when you do this because it's like the Kundalini energy and the Black Panther energy really allows us to connect to the divine in a greater way. We're going to connect to the Black Panther energy and the Kundalini energy to activate ayahuasca within our system and to release and to let go and to heal, but also to transform and to transmute and to come back into balance with our true resonance, our true desire. We're going to activate the third eye. And we're also going to connect to our archangels, our guides, our galactic beings. And we're also going to ground deep within Middle Mother Gaia Earth, Archangels of Love and Light, who's the one that cleanses me in my auric field, tapping into God's source energy and the great I Am, diving deep into Middle Mother Gaia Earth, and so it is. Tap into your heart's desire. Allow yourself to manifest thoughts of manifestation, intentions, love, more fulfillment, and come from your heart's desire. So Jesus is going to activate the heart. And also we're going to activate our psychic abilities. So if you're having trouble with your psychic abilities, use this as a way of activating it. So activate your telepathy, your clairvoyancy, your clairaudience, your clairsentience. Activate your psychic abilities. Allow yourself to be a living, breathing vortex of creation. Balancing the light and the dark energies, masculine, feminine, inner child. And we're going to download Metatron's Cube and the Merkaba. And if you don't know how to tap into your Akashic record, we're going to tap into that as well. To allow yourselves to see in the spirit, to see prophetic visions. Allow yourself to give your life to Source, to be the image of Source, to connect with the energies of Source energy. and tap into the higher self's wisdom. The Apostle Paul is coming with a green ray of healing, going around the surface of our bodies, allowing ourselves to release emotional trauma, allowing us to feel more better in our health, and helping us find more balance within our lives. Tap into your electromagnetic kinetic source energy. And we're going to release energy in the ears, the nostrils, and the throat. And we're going to tap into the energies of the different dimensions. The 10th dimension, the 11th dimension, and the 9th dimension. And we're going to up a frequency and a density of consciousness as well. Just know that this is a time for prosperity. This is a time of new beginnings. This is a time to activate your timelines. And this is a time where you reach your fullest fulfillment, your full radiance, your full embodiment, your peak moments, and also aligning ourselves to attracting situations, circumstances, things that align us to the things that allow us to attract and to subtract. This is a time to be bold, to be courageous, to take a chance on yourself, to have faith beyond your wildest dreams, to have wisdom beyond your years, and to be able to facilitate the peace and the love and the light and the wisdom of the oracle. Becoming that oracle, receiving the oracle, and living the oracle's life progression, using the ways of the ascended masters, that there can be such a clarity, such a love, such a peace, such a transcending of the human condition, that we have embarked on the golden age, and it might come sooner than we think. But our time is now, as light workers, to unite, to stand, and to be warriors of the light. To impart the wisdom, to give love when need be, and to show up whenever you're called to show up. The things will become easier in your finances, in your health, in your emotional states, with your friends, family, and loved ones. And just embrace the golden age of enlightenment. Everybody take one last deep breath. Exhale. When I snap my fingers, you'll come back to. You'll have a greater sense of clarity. You'll know who you are. And you'll become the oracle of love, light, and wisdom, which is God manifested in the human form. So I hope you guys enjoyed that healing energy. I just felt led to go live today. I do 2 lives every day, so if you miss these lives, I do a live almost every day. And also, guys, you guys can book private sessions if you feel led to. I do have 1-hour sessions for psychic readings. It's $100 for psychic readings. And tonight, around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern, earliest, it's going to be 8 or 9. I'm doing readings and healings. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the live today, and I hope it really blessed you. I hope it really helped you and guided you into a different state of consciousness, but also it allowed us to connect with the Black Panther energy and the Kundalini energy, which allows us to transcend the space-time continuum. And also there was a message for the collective and myself at the end there. But just remember, don't give up on Source, don't give up on God, don't give up on the resonance that God wants you to see and the things that you can see change in your life. And when we're at the precipice of really manifesting the things that we want, that's when we really give up on the things that are very close by, are very close in the vicinity of what we're going to manifest or create. But then sometimes there's chaos, sometimes there's confusion, sometimes there's a challenge. And then it's just embracing the challenge, embracing the flow of energy. And then acceleration happens, and then it allows you to kind of puncture and go through the eye of the storm, and allows you to be the eye of the hurricane, and you allow yourself to tell fate that I am the storm. So there's this empowerment and there's sense of prophecy that allows us to really bat off the other stuff away. So we're shattering the hourglass, we're really encapsulating the prosperity and the timelines and the person that we're becoming in this moment and the continuity that's there, but also the migration into the new energies of really balancing the scales once again, because the scales have been imbalanced for so long, and now it's time for them to come back into balance. So you guys can book private sessions whenever you want to. If you missed this videos, whitewolftheoracle on YouTube and other things. But if you guys want to book a private session, you can contact me on TikTok, on my email, on my text messaging system. And any way that you can find me, Facebook, White Wolf the Oracle, YouTube, White Wolf the Oracle, if you need to find me anytime. I am of service. I do go live and do readings on every single day around 8 or 9 o'clock, 10, 11 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to tune in. But also, guys, one last thing, and I'll probably get off here, is the very fact that we are in the golden age of enlightenment means that we're the sacred flame. And when we are that sacred flame, that means the flame cannot be extinguished. That there is a fluidity when we choose to hold the torch, and that there is a way that we stand among the rest with bravery, with heart, with an alignment that surpasses all understanding, but a strength that cannot be diminished in terms of resiliency. So thank you guys. God bless. Namaste. Thank you so much. And until next time, this is White Wolf.